Welcome to video 2, Using Digestion as a Group by Urban Forex. Alright, so in this video what I'm going to be showing you about is how you can use correlation to your advantage when it comes to looking at little things that might cause you headaches about should I really be looking at this or not. Okay, I'm sure by now you've probably sent 1,000 support tickets to us trying to go for the exact detail as if there's 100% exact science. I need you to calm it down a little bit more because I'm going to show you why it is easier for some people to figure it out while some is looking for an exact science behind this. So let me show you. Okay, so for example, when you look at Aussie USD, and you look at this as a meal going up, right? So he ate a large meal because we want to overall sell, right? Our job is to sell. So if we want to sell, we're looking for all the pullbacks. So whenever the meals come in, we want to digest the meals, right? So you look at this as a meal and then you're like, he digests a little bit. And then is this another meal, right? Isn't that a normal question? Isn't that something you might be concerned about? Like, is that a new meal or not? This is where it comes in handy to find out for sure what you're looking at. Now look at the just same area on Aussie Swiss franc. He just goes a little bit and keeps going. It's as if this is all one piece. Look at the next one in Aussie CAD. That same area. All one piece. Look at the next one, Aussie yen, same area. All one piece. Okay? Same area if I do it here on pound Aussie. It's in inverse, it's going the other way. All one piece. And Euro Aussie seems to be all one piece here as well. So you can see the complications here. Maybe you can even say that this might have been a little bit of a meal and then some got digested and then he got another meal. Okay, fair enough. But you can see the majority of them are saying it's all one piece. This is where you can stop the little nitty-gritty of like, is that really right? Because I'm not really getting it. It's not exactly how you showed it in the course. Because what you showed me in the course, I want to look for it exactly like that onto the markets. You want to be a little bit flexible. Okay, you want to be a little bit flexible and not be rigid. Okay, if you're going to be rigid, it's going to become very complicated to learn this stuff. You got to be a little bit more flexible, and this is going to help you with that. Okay, because the reason why I say this is because I used to be rigid. I used to be very rigid, and I wanted everything that I learned to be exactly like that. But unfortunately, the market was not giving me exact scenarios as I've learned, exact patterns as I've learned, exact situations as I have studied to fit my techniques or strategy. So I had to learn to look at the market and try to figure it out. That is our whole game plan from the MPA 2.0 all the way up until now, to get you into the mindset of, can I figure this out? And one of the best tools to figure stuff out is always correlation. Okay, so this part you guys have understood so far. Let's take it a little bit further. Same example. Okay. All right. Now digestion. You already know how digestion works based on what you've learned before. But what we're going to be looking at now is in a change in situation. So for example, when Aussie Swiss franc had this meal, we were like, okay, I want to sell because our research and everything might have told us that we want to sell. We just want to now find out where we can sell from, right? So as he starts eating a meal, we're like, okay, great, let him go up. And as he eats more meals, we will digest it and we'll get ready for our sales. But as soon as he eats that meal, he comes down a bit. We're like, okay, maybe he's digested some. He keeps going down. He's like, that's weird. He's digested the whole thing instantly. Okay. What about in Aussie USD? If we say, okay, this is the whole meal is one piece. He's digested almost the whole thing. Look how messy it is to digest. But he hasn't gone through. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at Aussie CAD. He's gone up. He's digested the whole thing. But if I put my mouse right where the rest of them are for time, he's actually looking like he's trying to go through as well. Okay, interesting. If I use the same conditions here, he's had this meal and he's digested most of it already. In the inverse scenario here, he's had his meal and he's digested most of it and more. Okay, so he's fully digested in pound Aussie, and Euro Aussie also fully digested. He's gone beyond the digestion period. Okay, so we're looking at this as, okay, what is going on here? So did we not get a proper pullback for us to finally get in? Because this trade might just be a runner, and that's okay. But we're looking for what can we see that will digest. Now, I'm just assuming you're trading the 15 minutes. Now, you might be looking at the cheese on the 3 minutes or anything like that. I'm giving you a correlation perspective of, if you look at it as a whole, and if I was to just hide this number of whether it says 3 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it may be, and if I just hide that number, can you still look at all these charts and figure it out? Okay, so in this case, after some of the digestion on Aussie USD, he goes up for the next meal by making a higher high. While in Aussie Swiss franc, where is that higher high? It's not there. While on Aussie CAD, where is that higher high? It's not there. Aussie yen, and there it is. Check. And this is now inversed, and there it is for this one. Okay, he went lower instead of a higher high because it's inversed. Check. And he also eventually started coming down lower, but not until much later. Okay, so right around here he started to come lower. Okay, so also check. But notice how two of these is a bit of a concern. What's going on? You might notice sometimes when you see these situations happen, you'll notice that it's because if their majority are saying, yeah, we are pulling back deeper, but a few are not, it means the power on them are extra powerful, which means Aussie is probably weak, but Swiss franc might be also very, very strong at the same time, causing it to not pull back as much. Same thing is happening with the CADs. This can give you a heads up of, I know that fundamentally Aussie can be weak and Swiss franc is strong. Let's say I did my research and I know that fundamentally, but now I can also feel it on the correlation. I can see why Aussie is weak and Swiss franc is strong because I can compare it to the others. When you do stuff like this, it adds to your confirmation of what you know is in play. Okay? If, for example, Aussie was weak and US dollar was strong, which means this chart is supposed to go down, you're going to say, you know what? Even though fundamentally I know this is supposed to go down, and even Aussie Swiss franc is supposed to go down, I rather choose Aussie Swiss franc because it's holding its weight properly. It is not pulling back as Aussie USD is doing. It is holding its grounds. Okay? That gives you additional confirmation of you want to be leaning more towards Aussie Swiss franc, okay, compared to Aussie USD. This will help you to understand where the power is underlying. Okay? So when you go from the digestion process and you see the subtle clues like this, wait, one of them made a higher high, the other one didn't, it means something. Okay? And what it means you need to figure out based on, is it the majority doing that? Is it only the one pair doing that? So once you get to see all that, you're going to be like, why? Like for example on Aussie CAD, and you can be like, why is this one not going higher high while everybody else might have gone, right? If there was checks on everything but this one, you're like, I'm not sure why this is not going up. That means something is happening with the Aussies, is why even though all of them are pulling back, Aussie CAD is like, no, not me. At that moment, CAD might be moving aggressively. Okay, CAD might be moving aggressively, and that's what's holding that market. Okay, so this goes same for true when you're looking for trades moving in favor and profits, and you're like, why is my pair not moving in profits? Is because your counter pair, okay, your counter pair has something going on his end too. He's got his own agenda going on. In this case, your counter pair is CAD. Okay, in this chart, okay, your counter pair is Swiss, because Aussie is your base currency here. Okay, because this whole group is based for Aussie. So if you keep these things in mind and you notice these subtle differences, this changes your whole perspective. Okay, this will change your whole perspective of what is going on. The more you get good at understanding what is going on, the more confidence you will have behind your trade, and the better you'll be able to trade with size, because you need to be observant of, I have a feeling, a good feeling and understanding of what is happening in the market based on my fundamentals, based on my technicals, but also based on my correlation, because I can see now with the correlation, it's confirming everything that I've researched so far. Let's move on to the next video.